When I worked as a fertility nurse, after teaching patients how to use their IVF injections or after an embryo transfer, one question that would come up was, is there anything I can eat to improve my chances? And honestly, I wish patients had the answer to this question even before they started the IVF process. So I'm making this video to answer that question, not only for people going through the IVF process, but also for those who are trying naturally. Now, I want to start by saying there is no food that holds the magic wand to fertility. It is the cumulative effect of everything you eat that would provide your body with the nutrients it requires to function optimally. Nutrition would lay the right foundation for you. However, it is not all there is to fertility. There are other things, there are other reasons why conception may be delayed, and those things have to be addressed as well. My default answer to this question used to be, oh, just eat healthy, until I realized that people have different versions of eating healthy. Some people's version of eating healthy requires them to cut out fats or keep it at the barest minimum. Now, for fertility, that is not the wisest thing to do. So I want to really make this video to answer that question and to help you know what kinds of food to prioritize and to include in your diet. The first food group I'll talk about is the healthy fat. The most common fertility hormones that you know, your progesterone, your estrogen, your testosterone, they are made from cholesterol. What that means is you need a decent amount of healthy fat in your diet to support your body in the production of these hormones. Healthy fat is what you need, because if you're eating the wrong kind of fat, you're basically going to be promoting chronic inflammation in your body, and that is not going to help you at all when it comes to fertility. What kind of fats would I classify as healthy? For cooking oils, I like to recommend only coconut oil or avocado oil, because they can withstand high levels of heat. But if what you're cooking doesn't require high levels of heat, or you're just drizzling oil over something, then extra virgin olive oil is a very, very good option. The only issue is it cannot withstand high levels of heat. So you can have it, except for when you're doing anything that requires high heat. I also like avocado. Avocado have a very good amount of healthy fat in them. They're also a good source of fiber and a good source of magnesium for you, all of which you need for fertility actually. Now I also want to talk about your nuts and seeds. I've got here chia seeds. Chia seeds are very good they're a very good source of omega-3 fatty acids. And then finally, your oily fish. The oil from fish is a very good source of fat, a good source of healthy fat for you, fertility wise. It's so good that it is packaged as a supplement of its own. The second food group on my list is the leafy vegetables, leafy green vegetables. So any vegetable that is leafy, is green and edible, falls under this group. So that includes your ugu leaves, your ewedu, your afang, water leaf, whatever is green, is edible, and is a leaf, falls under this group. So you want to incorporate these. I know as a Nigerian, you most likely have this already in your diet, but what I want to highlight here is the quantity you eat and how often. What is recommended is that you're having at least 2 cups of raw leafy green vegetables daily, or 1 cup of cooked. The highlight here is for you to increase how much of it you're eating. Usually we have it in our soups, in our vegetable soups. That's one way to have it. Another way is to steam it and have it by the side with your rice or any other thing you're eating, like yam or sweet potatoes. You can also puree it, like blend it into a smoothie and add something to it to make it more palatable, or as a juice. Or you can have it in form of powder, like the moringa powder, and then you can add that to your juices, your smoothies, or whatever else you're having, and just drink that. The third food group on my list is the colorful vegetables. They're a very good source of antioxidants. We need antioxidants to mop up the effects of free radicals and oxidative stress, which, if not addressed, can actually affect the quality of eggs and affect the quality of sperm. Each color of food represents a class of antioxidant of its own, which is different in function from another one. The pigment you get, the color you have from red cabbage or purple cabbage, does something that the color you have in yellow bell pepper doesn't do. So you need a variety of all of this to be able to get the function, to be able to get the benefit of each of these food groups. Another way to get those antioxidants is berries. I've got here frozen blueberries. They are very rich in antioxidants as well. I've got here oranges as well. Oranges are rich in vitamin C, which also acts as an antioxidant. Now, fourth food group on my list is the legumes, such as your beans. All the forms of beans are very important. They are very rich in protein. honey beans, white beans, red kidney beans, whatever kind of beans you have, lentils as well. I have here lentils. There are different types of lentils. All the different kinds are very rich in protein and also rich in fiber. And not only legumes, you also want to include other sources of protein like your egg. Eggs are very good for fertility because apart from the fact that they are rich, they're a good source of protein, they're a good source of healthy fat, they are also a good source of choline, which you absolutely need. Another example is your organ meat. Organ meats are good, like the liver. You can have that once a week. It's so very good for you fertility wise. The fifth food group on my list is the whole grains. Whole grains are rich in fiber. I have here millet, I have here quinoa. Brown rice is also good, your ofada rice. The problem with most of the white rice we eat is most of the fiber has been stripped off. But if you opt for the brown rice, it is less processed and it still has a more of its fiber intact than the regular white rice that we eat. So it's good that you're incorporating this because they are a rich source of fiber. Oats are also another example, as long as most of the fiber has not been taken out. If you notice, one recurring theme in most of these foods that we've listed out is fiber. Fiber is so important because it helps keep your blood sugar within the right balance, helps you address insulin resistance, and if that is not addressed, it can actually affect your ovulation. Fiber is also very key when it comes to balancing the levels of estrogen in your system, which, as you know, is important for fertility. I don't want you obsessing over perfection. You just want to make progress consistently. If, for instance, you decide that you want to start with the healthy fat, you can decide that, oh, I want to swap my cooking oil this month. I want to eat more avocado. I want to eat more of the chia seed and the flax seeds because they will give me the right kind of fat that I need. Or you can decide that instead of eating just purely white rice, you're going to always make sure that you're having vegetables by the side each time you eat your white rice. That's also a good way to make progress with these things. The good thing is by the time you add the right things, you have less space, you have less room for the wrong kind of food. So I've not really highlighted what you should be cutting out because I want you to focus more on what you should add, because by adding you have less room for the things that you should not have. And maybe in a different video I could talk about what you should avoid, but for now I hope this has been helpful for you. Please do well to like this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe as well if this has been helpful for you.